good. Welcome to live. Yep. Yeah, you can.
It popped up.
Alrighty.
All right. Shalom. First off, give all praise to
Yahawah,
Yahawah, BAHASHAM,
YAHAWASHI,
BAHASHAM, Ruach Kodash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring the truth and sincerity. As you can see, we back at it. We got a live lesson going, just for the edification of the Akim out there and the young brothers that might be coming in, and just us in general, man. You gotta have that. We be in need of milk, the scriptures say, and like I said, it's just for the edification of the brotherhood, on what's going on, current events, and as well as past events as well. So, can I get that scripture before we?
When you wanted to get next, like
the thing written aforetime.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything has a purpose. Everything was made for a reason. And go ahead.
You want to speak? You go.
No. This is basically.
It'll speak for you.
Yeah.
This is Romans chapter 15, verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning."
Right. Things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, as well as the events that happened in the past. It was so that we can learn from it, so that we can take what happened back then and put it to today and make 2 cents out of it. Okay?
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Right. Through patience and comfort of the scriptures that we have hope. Okay? Because we see the events that's going on today, and if you don't know these scriptures, you'd be lost. You'd be like, oh man, Trump is the worst guy ever, and World War III, it'd be scary to you.
He's actually the coolest president.
Right. Everything that's going on right now, it would be a very scary time for you. But with patience and learning the scriptures, it's an exciting time for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish.
We know that we at the end of this thing, and things are coming closer and closer and closer to us getting salvation and getting out of here.
Yeah, because like it said, through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. That's our hope. You know what I'm saying? Hope that is seen is not hope. You know what I'm saying? So our faith is the fact that we know America's going down. Our faith is the fact that this place will be as the other empires, as the other kingdoms, as Babylon was, or Egypt was, as Babylon was, okay, as the Persians and the Medes was, all right, as the Greeks was, as the Romans was, okay? All of them places lived and ruled and flourished at a point in time, but guess what? They all came to an end, okay? What's so different about America when America is all of those wrapped in one, man? Okay? So that is our hope, that through patience and comfort of the scriptures, because the scriptures speak of what? Prophecies, all right? The scriptures speak of prophecies, so you have to have patience in those prophecies. Because you read a prophecy doesn't mean it's going to happen the next hour or the next minute or the next second. You have to have patience until it come forth, man. All right? We know that America is going to be done away with by thermonuclear fire, but because we read that doesn't mean that it's going to happen the day after, man. Okay?
Hey, because the Apostle Gabar went into a lesson in which I did a response to it as far as the patience. Patience is suffering.
Yeah.
So like the brother's going into, we're going to have to sit here, just sit the hell down and wait until the Lord, wait for the Lord to do his thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Because right now you see he's, prophecy is being fulfilled. All right, you see that this microchip is coming to it. This is coming to a head. It's being pushed more and more. And even like with the how they said that the groceries are going up, the prices of groceries are going up. What they're doing is they're trying to make people build accounts. I.e. with the is pretty much the microchip. They have like little in-store cars that have the microchip in it because the prices are going up. So they're saying once you use these cards that it can bring the price down on your groceries. Mm-hmm. So these prophecies are
that show exactly. That shows that when they start bringing this chip about, they're going to come with an incentive. They're going to come with a financial benefit possibly. You know that if you get chipped today, you can get a $500 bonus or some shit like that.
Right.
You know, and of course, you know, 500. You're like, you own that. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, there's a possibility that food can be high due to inflation because the dollar is dying.
God.
Okay, there's multiple things within America that is just dying. Like America's pride is dying, in a sense, because you still have proud people, but overall, where everybody just feel like I'm happy to be an American, that shit's dying. The infrastructure dying, the holiday spirit dying, the dollar dying. Like TV is dying. There's nothing really entertaining on. Like football is fixed, basketball is fixed. You know what I'm saying? That's all your bread and circus. Now they got reality TV, which is not really reality.
It's fixed.
It's fixed.
It's a script.
All of that, it's like all of this is dying. Like Esau is on the last end of his kingdom, and he's trying to make it appealing. Yeah. He's trying to keep you, because people are waking up, as people say. Okay. You know, oh, y'all starting to wake up. People starting to wake up or stay woke and this and that. Things are coming to that nature where people are breaking out of that. Oh, I'm proud to be American. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna fight for my country. You know, where you know nobody's recruiting. Hey, I wanna fight for my country. Be in the army.
I'm
be
glad
in the
you're
military.
saying all of this, brother. We're gonna get into a lot of what the brother's speaking
like,
about, man.
It's through the spirit, You know what I'm saying? All of that is dead, man. All of that is dead. You know, it's dying and it's dead at the same time. All right,
you have something, brother? Oh no. All right, go ahead.
You want this? Okay, this is Revelations 11:8. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified."
Now, I got this precept. The brother had mentioned that America was Sodom, America was Egypt, America was also Rome in the reincarnation. Okay? And that's what the lesson is about America being Rome. There's a lot of different connections between the old Roman Empire and the new Roman Empire, which is America. Can you get that one scripture, the deadly wound was healed?
Yeah.
You know where it's at?
I think it's like the next chapter.
Let me see.
Yeah, this is my new sword. I gotta do my highlights again.
Yeah, it's 13 and 3.
13:3? Okay, yeah. This is Revelation 13:3. It says, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast."
That's talking about the Roman Empire going down, but being reincarnated today as America, okay, which is known as Babylon in the scriptures, which is known as the daughter of Babylon, also Sodom, Egypt, Rome, all these places. It's all talking about America, all right? So what's going on today? What's new happens? Trump and this wall, right? He shut down the government for the longest shutdown period of time. He opened it back up, and then he did what? He declared a state of emergency to get this wall going. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into some parallels of the old Roman Empire and the new Roman Empire. We all know the old Roman Empire fell, and that's going to lead us to how the new Roman Empire is going to fall. And it's prophesied in the scriptures, and it's being played out before us in our lives. So the brother...
This is an article from History.com, which is dated January 14th of 2014. And it says 8 reasons why Rome fell. Find out why one of history's most legendary empires finally came crashing down.
Right. There's never been an empire that lasted forever. Rome fell, Egypt fell, Babylon fell. You know, all the so-called Holy Roman Empire fell. All these empires was here, and they fell. Why? Because if nobody's gonna have a forever empire until it's us. Yeah. All right, America is gonna have its time to shine. It's gonna prosper like it has been, and then it's going to be a downfall, and it's going to be an end to it. And when that happens, that's going to be the come up of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true children of Israel according to the Bible. Okay?
Can I read this right quick?
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
That's right, man. Unrighteous dealings, everything that's all the commerce, the slavery, okay, all the ratchet things that you done to us and all around the world.
Yeah,
Riches gotten by deceit. You done went over, you done raped and robbed and pillaged everybody's land around the world.
If the grape gatherers came by night, would they not leave some of the grapes?
You
know, you take everything. Because you're greedy, man. All right, so that's why, like the brother said, there's no kingdom that's going to rule forever and everlasting until we get our kingdom, because it's going to be in what?
In righteousness.
It's going to be in righteousness, man. What does the scripture, what does Wisdom of Solomon tell you? I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I am going to get it. All right. This is, where we at? It says, Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 15, for righteousness is immortal, right? So we're going to have an immortal kingdom because we're going to do it in righteousness, right? Yeah, there's going to be a government, but it's going to be ran in righteousness. Yes, there's going to be some form of tribute, but it's going to be done in righteousness. Right, here you is, you work, they tax you, then you get your taxes in the next year, then they tax that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, God damn, like, there's no winning with this place. All right, there is no winning with this place. That's part of the ill-gotten gains that they have, the riches that got by deceit. Okay, the injuries, like the brother said, slavery. You got all this food that's messing up people's bodies. All right, you got chemtrails messing up people's bodies and people's brains. Okay, like you have all of these things that prove why you're the devil. This is why we call you the devil, man. Here it is. You have the power and the finances to fix the earth, but you rather continue to destroy it. You rather continue to destroy it and look for a new habitation on Mars. All right, this is like, we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be like the movie Elysium, basically. Y'all brought that movie out because y'all knew y'all was going to seek another habitation and just leave the poor down here. Why not? Y'all killing and destroying everybody, each other anyway. Okay, the poor feed off the poor because we're all poor, man. We got to get like Robin Hood. You know what I'm saying? Go after the rich. Take them out, But when they systematically set all of this up, man. All right, just like when Rome, because we're going to get into Rome, you had Masada. You know what I'm saying? Let's starve them to the fact where people start eating themselves, and now they're weak. Let's go in there. Now we can go and kill them. That's how Esau rode. It's not a noble chess move. It's logical, but it's not a noble chess move. The Native Americans, you wait till the men was out hunting to go in and ransack the village, man. All right? You send diseases to weaken people and then go ransack the villages. You send chemtrails and predator drones and all, man. Have your president put boots on that land and go fight for the country. What happened to that? Nobody does that anymore, man. All right? King Saul was out there warring with his people, for his people.
You'll never see that in this day and age.
King David out there warring with his people, for his people. You know what I'm saying? That's what was going on then. All right? Hey, I just want to say that, man.
The spirit go, bro.
Righteousness is immortal, man. So our kingdom is going to be everlasting due to the fact of righteousness through YAHAWASHI.
This is the book of Sirach. Is it one to what you had, bro?
No, you good.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 35 and verse 17. It says, the prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. Until it come nigh, he will not be comforted, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment.
That's right, man. That means when the righteous pray, those prayers go straight to the Most High, okay? And we don't feel good, you know what I'm saying? The Most High don't feel good until he answers those prayers, man. They get answered, all right? Even the Christians say he may not come when he wants to, but he's always on time. And you can't dispute that because it's true.
Yeah.
That's actually true. But the thing that separates us from them and the thing that we look forward to getting out of here. Right? We know that we're not saved yet. We know that we have to keep fighting to endure to the end.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
It says, for the Lord will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient towards them.
That's right. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise. He promised his elect that he would deliver them out of Jacob's trouble, that he would deliver them in the time of judgment.
The seventh trump.
Right. Okay, so that's what we have to look forward to. Go ahead.
Till he have smitten and sundered the loins of the unmerciful, and repaid vengeance to the heathen, till he had taken away the multitude of the proud. And the precept for proud says cruel oppressors.
Right. Who is that talking about? It mentioned the heathen. It mentioned the cruel oppressors. Who have we been oppressed by from the past 400 years? It's not hard to understand who this is talking about, and it's going to further go into it.
It says, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous.
Who's holding a scepter right now? A scepter is something that a ruler has. Okay, who's ruling the earth?
Yep.
The so-called white man. Okay, that scepter is going to be broken. Okay, that means the rulership is going to be broken, and that's when our kingdom comes up, like we've been saying.
Like the scriptures.
The scriptures say the curse that's upon us, that the tribulation that's upon us is going to be turned over unto the wicked. It's going to be turned over unto the heathens and the Most High in due season.
That cup.
Double.
Exactly. The dregs are going to be wrung out unto them, man.
That cup that cup we drunk of that we was not supposed to drink of is going to come back to the heathen. Mainly Esau too, boy. Like, you're going to be eradicated. Like, you're going to disappear. Like, hey, and rightfully so, because here it is, you have animals on the planet and they're going extinct. Meaning they can't there's no more. They're all dying as a species. Meaning there will be no more of this. Like, they're in the process of killing off all the giraffes.
The white rhinos.
There's no more. There will be no more. Like, you take something so precious and you rather put its head on your wall than just allow that last little bit to live, to survive. Because you are the destroyer, man. You are that black horse. You are death. Okay?
You don't think we're going to giraffe next in the kingdom?
Yeah, like, you know? Like, come on, man. Like, it does not make sense, you know? And, dang, what was I about to say? Oh, so, and that's why you're going to go extinct. After 1,000 years of slavery, you're going to go extinct. You know, you reap what you sow. You're sitting here killing, or like, if the Lord just allow you to continue. Go ahead.
I got you. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 22.
Yeah.
It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved.
Yeah, it's not like the Lord is like, it's not like the Lord like, well, this dude's just hella wicked. I just gotta stop. No, he has to stop because you won't stop. He has to stop you.
Right.
Because you will not stop. Okay? You will not stop. You will rape, rob, and murder and pillage everything. That's why you're seeking another habitation. Because, like, then what? You snatch everything from Earth, but you're going to start going to the next planets and the next planet? Like,
right.
The Lord can't allow that, man. He's not good. That's why he ain't gave you everything. That's why he haven't allowed you to search out the depths of the sea or search out the heavens, man. All right? Due to the fact that you would destroy it. You would destroy it. Hands down, man.
They make all these movies like Star Wars and Star Trek or whatnot. They think they're going to be space pirates and this, that, and the third. No, that's not gonna happen. Okay?
Yeah.
Because like the brother said, you would destroy it. Look at Star Wars. They go from planet to planet, literally from galaxy to galaxy, from this spot over here to this spot over here, doing what? Enslaving the people, taxing the people, killing the people.
That's what they want, man.
That's what they would do.
Yeah,
They're the evil
exactly
empire.
That's exactly what they would do.
That's exactly what they would do.
Like, here it is. You in America, right? You going to other countries. That's cool. That's good. And you messing up their system. Because you trying to bring about your democracy and all of that. Here it is. They make Gaddafi seem like a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Based off the list I was reading of the things he was doing, she seemed like a pretty good person to me.
They had the highest quality of life in Africa.
Like,
Libya.
come on, man.
Everybody ate off the gas money. College was free. Your rent was paid.
You had a child, he gave you like $5,000 or something like that to help you with your newborn, man. And here, they'll fucking charge you $5,000 for having a child.
And they charge you for the skin to skin.
Yeah, they charge you. They charge
to touch my child.
Dog, like, richest guy by the seat, man. I might as well have, but people don't have the knowledge to have a child at home. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. They're causing you to depend on the government. They're causing you to depend on them. They don't teach these things in school. They don't teach you about if you have an ear infection, you can use tea tree oil. They don't teach you if you got a headache, you can drink water. Or if you feeling like you coming down with a cold, you can drink just raw pineapple juice. It's more effective than orange juice. And I'm a witness to that. When my daughter was born, I was sick, coughing, sneezing, all of that. Boop, boop, boop. Did some research. I went and got some organic, that shit that come in a glass, that orange something, I forget the brand, but I just drunk that bottle of pineapple juice and I was good the very next day. They don't teach you these things, man. YAHAWASHI put these things on earth for us. Yeah. But we don't have the proper diet. But what do? They do the complete opposite. Okay? They give you the diets that make you sick. Okay. That causes you to be down and make your immune system to break down, man. That's what goes on in this place. That's why this place cannot continue. Because like the brother just brought out, all flesh will be destroyed if you don't shorten up the days, man. Here it is. We already damn near at the end of February. You feel me? We halfway through it. It only got 28 days because Esau, devilish ass, we going to put 28 days on this month.
It just look good.
And guess what else? We're going to get this to the black people for their month. Nigga, we get the shortest month of the year. In the cold. It's all dead.
Right.
Can't, you know, depending on where you live, you can't enjoy the outside weather. You know? But people cool with that. Let's post all this black history and this and that and blah. Man, it's not about that. Like, it's about getting the hell up out of here, man. I want to go home. I can't rest. I sleep, but I can't rest.
Scripture say that this is not your rest.
Con.
We have a job to do.
Go ahead.
It says, before the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. You know, so Esau's destroying the earth, man. You know, and the Most High is not going to allow him to destroy he's not going to allow him to destroy entire humanity, man. He's not going to let him have that. He says, well, what does it say with the one world order? He's not going to allow that to happen. Yeah. You know, it says when he's getting ready to eat, he should take that bread from him when he's getting ready to drink. He should take his drink from him.
Slap it. Yeah, he's never allowed it to happen. He didn't allow it to happen on the Tower of Babel. He didn't allow it to happen during the time of the Greeks when they was trying to bring everybody together. What makes America different? That's a lesson, low key. Like,
because it's not of the promise. That's not of the promise.
It's not.
You know, so the Most High, he's not a man that he should lie. You see?
He purposely divided the nations, man.
Yeah.
So everybody can do, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing Esau somewhat got right. But he did it through hatred.
Yeah.
You know, segregation. You know what I'm saying? He did it through hatred. Because even though they were segregated, he hated us, man. It's not like he put us in a proper position. All right? When we rule, we gonna let the gooks have their land. We gonna let the fucking Hawaiians and whatever. We gonna let these different nations have their land. We're not gonna put them motherfuckers in a horrible habitat. And we're not gonna put them in a ghetto.
Right.
You feel me? We're not gonna put them in a ghetto to feed off each other, and then come in and take the best of the best. No, we want y'all to do good so we can get the best of things.
Right.
I'm not gonna put chemtrails over y'all land and then come in and get the biggest cow.
Right.
Fuck no. I want the healthiest cow based on what y'all have brought up and nurtured, man.
Because if we set you up to win, then we just going to win all the way around.
Yeah.
But the way Esau does it, you know what I'm saying, like the brother was saying about the segregation. Before segregation, we were what? We were slaves. So we were good enough to be around you when we were serving you.
Yeah.
But then when we get free, you don't want nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? We can't be in your neighborhoods. You don't want us in your neighborhoods. You don't want us around your parks or nothing like that. So you don't. So what does that say? What does that say? That you have that hatred for us.
Yep. Perpetual hatred, Ezekiel.
A perpetual hatred, a everlasting, never-ending hatred for us. But guess what?
Story.
We had that same hatred for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we had.
I don't want to be fucking around you.
We get
Unless what?
we getting it back. Unless you are a servant.
That's just the way the ball bounces.
You know,
If
like
it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
unless you are a servant, I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust you. I don't trust you to be around my children unless you're my servant. I don't trust you to be around my children. You wanna know why? Because y'all the biggest fucking pedophiles. Y'all the biggest pedophiles. Y'all the biggest in child porn.
And that shit ran rampant in old Rome as well.
Yeah. Hey, let's get into it because we gotta, you know.
And they came out with a whole sexual orientation. That's based off of crackers' sexual pleasures, man. Not Negroes, not the Israelites.
How you justify pedophilia, man?
You know, this is back.
The scriptures say, no, you good. The scriptures say when a child got that flower, y'all don't care about the flower. Y'all make the flower. GMO flower, like artificial flower, you know. Yeah, and that's part of it. Here you putting all these hormones in food, so and you got women passing a flower, getting periods at the age of 10 and 11. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're doing. Everybody had a big hoorah when we was talking about the flowers and rape and a woman being with a man. The scriptures say with the flower though, period. Of course, we're not in our society. I believe if it was in our society, it would come a little later. You know what I'm saying? But whatever age it will come, that's the age that it come at.
Right.
Hey, but nobody has shit to say when Esau's actually doing the shit.
Where everybody at now? Where all you Israelites at? It was, man, dog, like, y'all are not fair. Y'all are not fair, man. We had the same situation that was going on in Rome. All of this, everything that's going on today relates. Can we get Ecclesiastes? There's nothing new under the sun, bro. All this relates to Rome as well. All of this damn Valentine's Day and here it is. You have men of the Lord prophesying the downfall of a kingdom and prophesying the uprising of a kingdom. And you have our own people looking down on us. Okay? You got our own people coming against us, man. All right? Come on, like, just imagine. They told you. And what's that? Kings, I think the 8th chapter, one of the kings. If we all just humble ourselves and pray to YAHAWASHI, face the east, he will come get us. But it's not going to happen because you got knuckleheads, man.
They got their own agenda.
It should be like 1 in 9 or something.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. It says, the thing that had been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
Yeah, history repeats itself. People say that, but then when it comes time to believe in that, they don't want to believe that. Oh, we're a better society. We're more technical. We're this, we're that. They didn't have cell phone. It don't matter. It's the same. You got to think about things overall. I like to do things like, I talk to a woman, and I be like, man, women be doing this and that, but I don't do it. I'm not talking about you then, bitch. If it don't apply, let it fly. I'm talking about overall. You feel me? Overall, this society is trash based off history repeating itself. You have a kingdom that's on top. They do certain things, and then slowly but surely they start to fall and crumble. Like, that's what goes on, man. Based off of the nation of Israel. It all comes down to that. All these kingdoms, hey, if we're in this motherfucker for 30 more years, Lord willing, we're not. Abaratazah. If we're here for 30 more years and America falls, but we know that America is the end game.
Okay.
But if we didn't, if we was here and then China started ruling, and then Russia or whoever, at the end of the day, no kingdom can rule but the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of New Jerusalem, which is the kingdom of YAHAWAH, man. Because at the end of the day, those are the rightful owners.
Okay.
You feel me? At the end of the day, the rightful owners are Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans due to the 6th chapter of 2nd Esdras when it says that the earth was made for our sake, man. The Lord is not going to give you our earth. Because Esdras is like, well, dang, if we your people,
How do we not possess inheritance?
why we ain't got nothing to do with them? It's not our time. Hey, like the brother brought out earlier, it's patience. Like the brother had me get earlier, it's patience and comfort of the scriptures. We read what's going to happen, man. All we got to do is deal with the bullshit in between. Period.
Go ahead and finish that.
It's back in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 35, and verse 19. It says, "Till he have rendered to every man according to his deeds, and to the works of men according to their devices, till he have judged the cause of his people, and made them to rejoice in his mercy."
Read that one more time. Read that one more time.
This is Sirach 35:19. It says, "Till he have rendered to every man according to his deeds, and to the works of men according to their devices."
That's right. Everybody according to their deeds, whether they did good or bad, and the works of their devices, man. What does that put you in the mindset of? We're not ignorant to Satan's devices. Because Satan's going to try to knock you off, okay? The so-called white man, he's going to try to implement the chip, and like we've been saying, he's going to make it sound good and everything and all that such, all right? So there's going to be a payback for that. There's going to be a judgment for that Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahushai is going to render. Okay.
Says, "Till he have judged the cause of his people."
The cause of his people, the Negroes, Latinos, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, not everybody, not the whole world, his people, his elect, the ones that he chose from the beginning.
"And made them to rejoice in his mercy. Mercy is seasonable in the time of affliction, as clouds of rain in the time of drought."
Read that one more time.
Mercy is seasonable in the time of affliction.
Mercy is seasonable in the time of affliction. It's about to be a time that never was before. Okay?
It's going to be very seasonable.
It's going to be very seasonable. Everybody's going to want to attain mercy in that period.
Yeah.
But if you ain't did what you were supposed to do before that,
you ain't invested, man.
Exactly, man.
Hey, that's the spirit that you said that, because the precept for seasonable is fair.
Mm-hmm.
So mercy is fair in the time of affliction, you know, because does not the book of Job say that the Most High is going to save his elect out of them troubles? Does not say they're going to laugh when famine comes, when the sword comes? You know, it's fair because why? These men put in the work. These men, they labor, they toil, they had patience, they've been through the trenches.
Think about it, bro.
You know,
you got the parable about the workers who came in. Some of them worked longer than the other ones, you know, but everybody received the same pay.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair because the owner said, if you work for me, you'll receive this. So it don't matter how much work you did in that sense, you know what I'm saying? You receive the same. So it's basically like now, like the apostles and elders, yes, they put in hella work. I wouldn't even want to take anything from them. You know what I'm saying? Even other brothers across the four corners, man. You know, but that payment is salvation. We're all going to receive salvation, Lord willing. Now, the benefits of the salvation, when we get in the kingdom, there will be different levels. you know. But at the end of the day, it don't matter about how long you worked, you know, because a brother can get into this and be in there the last 5 minutes, but he can receive that salvation, man. You know,
that's
so don't get too, you know. That's why, hey man, like that's why I hate when people come against our apostles and elders, because it's like I can see the humility in them. They are very humble. You know, they are very humble due to the fact that here it is, 30 plus years in, and they're still saying, "Lord willing, I'll make it." If I was 30 years in, I'd be like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
It would be easy for that mindset to creep
It
in.
would be easy for that mindset. And that's why I feel like YAHAWASHI put the spirit on them to constantly, diligently put out work. Because that mind could creep in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was thinking about that earlier. I was just laying in the bed, you know. I had a dry ass week this past week, you know what I'm saying? You know, Yahawah have mercy. But I had a dry week. And all in my head, I woke up and I'm thinking he told the head disciple to feed his sheep 3 times. This is the head disciple. He know what he's supposed to do.
Okay.
But he told him 3 times, man. Why? Because basically it's going to come a time where it could get dry, man. It could. That mindset could creep in. I'm good. I'm the head apostle. You know what I'm saying? Based on, you know, being, you know, Peter, I'm the head apostle. I'm good. My name mean rock. There gotta be a strong foundation. You know what I'm saying? Like anything. You know, but he said, yo, you love me? Feed my sheep. Feed my feet. Feed my lamb. You know, he told him 3 times to feed the flock, basically. So that goes to show you how important it is. You got people arguing and debating if I should go on the highways and shit. Where else? How else you gonna reach the people? Yeah, you can reach them through the internet. What about the older people who don't know how to work the internet? All right. What about the younger people who can't afford the internet? You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you got, you know, children having fucking cell phones at 10 and shit, but man, go on the highways. It told you to go on the highways.
The lost individuals that are just out there.
Yeah, it's just out there. You know, like, it's deeper than you, man. It's deeper than you. It's deeper than, oh, my fingers is cold. Oh, it's too hot outside. I don't want to get darker and all that shit. Oh, my neck is hot because the sun is behind us. Man, you better get a wet towel and throw around your neck. Like,
right.
Adapt to the situation to prove your worth, man.
Gird up thy loins.
Gird up your loins. Period, man. We coming into these times, man, where you're going to need all of these things you're reading about and hearing about. You're going to have to grasp it. You're going to have to make it part of your foundation. Because if you do not make it part of your foundation, you might feel butthurt. You might feel like somebody's lying or somebody, not necessarily lying, but somebody's wrong or giving the wrong advice. But if you filter through the scriptures, hey, that's all you can roll with. Like the brother I bring out a while. He was like, man, you know, I want to talk to this brother about this situation and that, but I don't know how he's going to react. He asked me that, and I'm like the Lord put the spirit on me to give that answer, and I know he did, because it don't bother a brother of mine, but it sticks with his mind to this day. I said, well, if he's a man of the Lord, you know, you can only respond that way. He's only going to have one response, which would be of a man of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how the scriptures teaches you how to deal with situations. The first scripture we brought out, the thing that was written aforetime was written for our learning. Only if you apply them, though. You can read the scriptures, but if you don't apply them, you're not learning. You know, period, point blank. You know, that's all I know. That's all I want.
Get into this. We're gonna get back into this article on history.com. All right, so I'm gonna start from the beginning again. It says 8 reasons why Rome fell. Find out why one of history's most legendary empires finally came crashing down. And it says 1, invasion by barbarian tribes. The most straightforward theory for Western Rome's collapse pins the fall on a string of military losses sustained against outside forces. Rome had tangled with Germanic tribes for centuries, but by the 300s, barbarian groups like the Goths had encroached beyond the empire's borders.
Okay, and I mean that's sort of relevant with today because you do have America beefing with all these different countries, and there are going to be foreign troops on American soil. All right, and with that happening, that's the so-called reincarnation of that. But that's not really a major part of where I really want to go into. So you go ahead and go to the next one.
All right, so the second reason it says economic troubles and over-reliance on slave labor.
This is one thing that I really wanted to get into right here. So yeah, you go ahead.
And it says this: even as Rome was under attack, even as Rome was under attack from outside forces, it was also crumbling from within thanks to a severe financial crisis.
Right, a severe financial crisis. Every 7 to 8 years, there's a financial crisis in America and the world in general. All right, there's a so-called depression or what do you call it? A recession. Okay, so you had the housing crisis, you had the 2000 .com boom or bust, and right now we're right on the cusp of that 7-8 year mark, and all the experts, they're predicting that something big is going to happen on a monumental level. All right, when this next bubble bursts, it's not going to be just a small setback. It's not even going to be like the Great Depression. It's going to be like the Greatest Depression.
Yeah.
Okay? It's going to be something monumental that never was, just like Jacob's Trouble. That's why this depression should be the catalyst for Jacob's Trouble. All right? It says something else. Can go ahead.
It says constant wars and overspending.
Constant wars and overspending. America's been at war, every day since like 1976 or some shit like that?
About there.
You know, you had all the wars in the early 90s with Desert Storm and Desert Fox and Operation this, Operation that. You went into Libya. You went into the Muslim, what's it called? The Arab Uprising or the Muslim Spring?
Yeah.
The Arab Spring.
The Arab Spring.
You didn't win the Crimea and you're in Syria and all these different places.
Sit your ass down.
Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Are you to win in all these places? All right, you're constantly at war and you're stretching out your army. Not only that, because you also have your army bases set everywhere. And just like the brother was saying, don't nobody want to go to the military now. You fucking up everybody.
You fucking over the veterans, so why would I go there to become a veteran to be fucked over?
Right.
You know, that's part of it too.
I'm going to go over there, get PTSD, get whacked out of my mind, come back and you're not going to help me.
God.
That if I make it back.
And I still got to make it.
I still got to endure all that bullshit. And if you're a woman, you might get raped about 5 to 7 times in the process. If you're a man, you might get raped 5 to 7 times in the process.
Hey, let me
But
this.
Go ahead.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Sit your ass down. Can't do it. He's trying to gather them grapes because he ain't trying to leave one.
Who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Sit your ass down.
He is as death. Everywhere he goes, death follows him.
Yeah.
All right? He shoots fucking drones on birthday parties.
It's just,
Since through the envy of the devil, death came into the world. You know? When adversity shall come, you shall find him there first. You know what I'm saying? He should not be a keeper at home.
Hey,
you know?
he probably caused the adversity.
Yeah. Hey, he does. You know, he stirs up situations and they act like
reaction solution.
Exactly.
Yep.
Try to act like he's solving a problem when you caused the shit. Man.
This is why we call you the devil.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a 2-in-1.
Man. That was it.
Back into this article, it says constant wars and overspending had significantly lightened imperial coffers.
But it said overspending too, because America spends the most money in the world on their military.
Damn.
And we're going to get into that when we visit in the article. I'm not going to jump the gun, but just know that America, when you add up all the spending or the next, like, maybe 5 to 10 countries, that barely equals up to what America is spending. The brother can look it up if you want to.
What you want?
How much the countries spend on their military.
Oh, all of them?
Yeah. You can go ahead.
Okay, and it says constant wars and overspending had significantly lightened imperial coffers, and oppressive taxation and inflation had widened the gap between rich and poor.
That's right. Because there is no middle class anymore. All right, you're either rich or you're poor. That's how it is in here. That's how it is in Africa and all the other places, man. There's no middle class. Go back up and read it one more time.
It says constant wars and overspending has significantly lightened imperial coffers.
That's right. So constant war. We're always at war. So that means you always got to spend on your military, and then overspending. All right, spending on stupid stuff like a wall, or spending stuff on unrighteous programs. People siphoning in funds, stealing funds. Not only that, you got a dollar that's depreciating and a system that's a debt-based system. So you're gonna crash.
Yeah.
You got those figures?
You sure you want to hear this?
Yeah.
United States, #1, $611 billion on the military.
611 billion. Well, when you look at it like that, 8 billion is nothing to build the wall.
It's nothing. #2, China, $215 billion. That's
yeah. Just because you said that, you ain't got to read no more. You can add up all the countries in the world and put them together, and it's not going to equal that. It's not going to equal to what America spends on their military.
The Most High is going to break their teeth in their mouth, which is their military,
might come.
You know, so all that money they spending on it, the Most High is he's gonna break that shit down, man. You know, he's gonna take their strength.
That's ridiculous.
But like we just said, this is a debt-based society. So for every dollar you spend, you owe $2.
Yep.
This is why America can't prosper. This is why America's gonna falter in the end, because they're spending all this money, but they're not bringing it back in. You can't just hemorrhage money. You know, anybody that owns a business knows you can't keep spending $500 a month and only make $250.
Here it is. It's like, go ahead.
No, you're gonna keep spending 5 and making 2, spending 5 and making 2, and then you're not gonna have that 5 to cover the 5 that you need because you only make 2.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna default.
It's gonna take you 3 months to pay back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna go in the black, and once you're in the black, you ain't coming back.
You know, this is a different type of going to the black. You know?
Good.
I got a precept right quick. 2nd Ezra 6:6. It says, "Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other." This was the Most High speaking through an angel to Ezra's, like, because he basically did a rundown on his creations. You know, creating the earth, the thunders, the waters, the heavens, you know, the creatures, and so on and so forth. And he said, by all these things I created them, and by all these things will come to an end. All right, YAHAWASHI controls everything, man. All right, you know, the Most High Yahweh, he is the puppet master. Okay, he controls everything. Everybody does what he says, whether you like it or not. That's on, and the crazy thing about that is, that's on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. You gotta find out which side you're on. You gotta fight to be on the right side. That's a bar. It's like
The 2 Corinthians 13:8. For we can do nothing against the truth before the truth.
yeah.
So whatever role you play, like the brother mentioned, on left side or the right side, you still fulfilling prophecy.
There was creatures subject unto honor and some unto dishonor. So you can have that balance, man.
Hey, the Most High is like, he's the perfect chess player, man.
Yeah,
The best of the best. You're not gonna meet nobody better because all these things is happening from Esau, the way he's been treating the people, the way that this the Dow and the Nasdaq and all the economy's fluctuating is pretty much going down, but they making it look like it's fluctuating. All that is of the Most High, man. You know, all these different laws that they coming up with, why? It's to bring judgment. That's all of the Most High, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, man. You know, from the beginning to the end. It says he's from everlasting to everlasting. So everything in that span is of the Most High, man. Everything, no matter what it is. You know, and that's why we pray that the Most High judges this place swiftly and speedily, because his will is going to be done regardless, man. All right? What was it more to your precept, brother?
No, you good.
We'll get back into your article. It says, in the hope of avoiding the tax man, many members of the wealthy classes have even fled to the countryside and set up independent fiefdoms.
It's like an independent little kingdom where like they're the Lord and the people around them actually pay taxes, that type of deal. But you had something similar today because the wealthy don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
Okay, the wealthy, they don't. Right? They donate their money and get tax breaks. There's so many tax breaks. That's why Trump wouldn't release his taxes. Mitt Romney, all these people, they're not going to release the taxes because then it will show that they don't pay them. All right, I'll give you an example. So, you get all these tax write-offs during the year because you what? Why? You own a business. If you own a business, then anytime you go out to eat, it's a tax write-off. Gas, it's a tax write-off. You save all your receipts from throughout the year, and then say like you make big money. You buy a house for $50,000. You build it up to $75,000 house, and then you sell it for $250,000. Now all that money that you made between the $75,000 and the $250,000, you're supposed to pay capital gains taxes on that. But if you take that money and you donate it to a non-profit organization,
Possibly your own organization.
probably your own non-profit organization, not only do you not have to pay taxes on that, you get to keep that money, but you get to get taxes back on it because you donated that money. Now you done doubled up off of it.
And this is why we call you the devil. You should do a lesson on that, bro.
And now you ain't paying no taxes. You came up, and now the little guy that's working 9 to 5, they're taking all his tax money.
Yeah. And taxing his taxes.
Exactly.
Just like, you gotta have that balance, which is the rich and the poor, but y'all make people poor in the wrong sense, man. Y'all force people to be poor opposed to taking care of the poor. You feel me? You know, like Robin Hood. You know, I just recently finished the movie and everything, and that's what he's like. One of the ladies was like, yeah, I just keep getting this money dropped off. He's, you know, they was calling him the hood in there. And he was like, she was like, I just wish he would give it to the poor. You know what I'm saying? Just like the situation with the stimulus packages. Why give it to the banks who's going to give out more loans and create more debt? Give it to the people so they can put it into the economy. All right? Put it into people's households if y'all really trying to help the economy.
Yeah.
You know, but y'all trying to keep the rich rich and the poor poor. Simple as that, man. We understand that there has to be a balance. Somebody on the bottom, somebody on the top. But just because somebody's on the bottom doesn't mean treat them like shit. Right? You know? Hey, but it's all good. You can have that. That ain't even what we bad at. It's going to come a day where the tables will turn. Period. And once the tables are turned, we gonna flourish, man. We gonna flourish in righteousness. Okay? We're gonna actually wear immortality. We're going to wear righteousness in a sense, man. When you see us, it tells you that in Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. Like, what power do they got with them? Based off our demeanor, based off our laws, statutes, and commandments, we're going to keep those, man. You're going to see every man, he's going to have a beard. Women going to have on dresses and have their head covered. And you probably don't even really be out. Like, where you need to go out for? Right. You got servants to do that, man. Sit your ass down. Like, but women going to be in order. Men are going to be in order. Children are going to be in order. Guess what else? The beasts, the creatures, they're going to be back in order. There's going to be no reason for me to fear a wolf or a lion because I have dominion over you. All right? That's what Adam had. You know? He had that at a point in time. All right? But through time, things just got worse and worse, man. All right?
It's Proverbs 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, add to the brother was saying, man. Things are going to be flipped, you know, and people are going to be actually happy. Nobody's going to be living in poverty. Here it is, as the brother brought up the results, they spent 611 trillion on the military, yet you got veterans that are homeless. You have one of the highest rates of people being homeless in the world, man. And you're supposed to be the greatest country upon the earth. You see, when the kingdom is established, according to the book of Luke, the 1st chapter, when our kingdom is established forever, nobody's going to be poor. Nobody's going to be in want of anything, man. All right, because the Most High, he said he's going to it's going to be the restitution of all things, meaning things are going to be ran correctly, man. All right. So that's all.
The ones that's relevant, of course.
You want to get back into this?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, finish that paragraph or that number.
This is back on history.com. It says, at the same time, the empire was rocked by a labor deficit. Rome's economy depended on slaves. It says Rome's economy depended on slaves to till its fields and work as craftsmen, and its military might had traditionally provided a fresh influx of conquered peoples to put to work.
And that's what happened with us. We were brought here as slave labor, free labor. You got free money off of us. Okay, back then with the industrial, before the Industrial Revolution, when we were in slavery, we were the main source of cotton for the world, so-called America, and you had all these plantation owners. They got filthy rich. All these companies that were started and got all this money off of our free labor.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's the 400-year head start that we talk about. And it's probably shit that we weren't today. Probably Fruit of the Looms, probably Hanes, all these t-shirt companies.
Yep.
You know, that's something that I want to, go back and research when they actually get started.
Fucking comforters and pillows and
all that. Because all this shit is made from cotton.
Yeah, that's like the #1 seller.
And these companies didn't just spark up, you know what I'm saying, within the last 50 years. Somebody was making goddamn shirts and shit during slavery.
Yeah.
Somebody was selling that shit to Europe and to the East, to all these other places. That's how America made its name. That's how it became that great country and was able to get on the same level as Great Britain and all those so-called European countries. Off the backs of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man.
Nah, bro. Off the backs, the blood, the sweat, and the tears of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Couldn't have said it better.
Fuck. Like, I did us dirty, man.
Book of Lamentations said we became tributaries, forced laborers, man. You know, we became forced slaves. You know, that's what Esau did, and he was extra crucial with it, man.
And we and us, when I say we, men of the Lord willing, and Israel in the know, we understand why, pursuant to the book of Baruch, man. It was well deserved, but it wasn't overly deserved. Like the scriptures say, y'all overdid it. You feel me?
say they for the affliction.
Yeah. Y'all basically overdid it. You know, there's no reason to tie a human to a fucking horses and split them apart.
Right.
Cutting pregnant women bellies open, stomping the fetus head. Like, there's no reason to do that unless you're the devil.
Yeah.
Come on, man. There's no reason to stab anybody in the back that help you learn how to cultivate the land. Oh, for teaching me how to do this, I'm gonna give you smallpox. Smallpox, I choose you. Like, that's dirty,
Another
man.
thing that they was doing is, and we pass on. I mean, move on after this is what they used to do. Another thing they used to do is they used to use women, live women, to learn how to do C-sections. You know, they weren't even pregnant. You know, and like you got to be a straight up. That's hatred, man. That's pure hatred for a nation.
Yeah.
You know,
And then holding account of our labors.
And then hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we the laziest people that ever was. But then
We just rested.
right. And then you don't take credit for what you did. You don't take credit yourself for being the fucking devil. You sweep everything that you did under the rug like it never happened.
they hold themselves not guilty. You know. We're moving to this other one. We still want more to the other.
I think I wanted the fourth one as well.
Kind. I still got it. Now I'm jump down to.
I think, did we do that one?
The fourth one?
Yeah.
We didn't finish all the third one.
No, we was on the second one.
I mean the second one, yeah.
You want to finish that?
Yeah, finish the second one.
All right, con. This is
Matter of fact, finish the second one, and then we'll re-up on the fourth one.
All right, this is back on. It says, where do we leave off? All right, it says nation ground to a halt in the 2nd century. Rome's supply of slaves and other war treasures began to dry up. A further blow came in the 5th century when the Vandals claimed North Africa and began disrupting the empire's trade by prowling the Mediterranean as pirates. When its economy faltering in its commercial and agricultural production in decline, the empire began to lose its grip on Europe.
So that's just like what happened with the job crisis in was that 2008, when a lot of companies were going out of business and going bankrupt, and a lot of people were losing their jobs. Mm-hmm. A lot of the people in like the car industries and the banking industries, and they had to get bailed out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what happened back then. But man, it's gonna be on an even more on a mass scale this time around, man. I can't put to you, you know what I'm saying? I can't explain how big of a bubble is gonna pop this time. All right, because everything that should have got fixed on the last one didn't get fixed. So that bubble's been building bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you got new problems that have arose since then, and they're building bigger and bigger and bigger. And on top of that, you got a debt of 21, 22 trillion that you'll never be able to pay off.
Never paying that off.
You can't do nothing but start from scratch at that point.
Yeah.
And then that's when you're able to do what? Implement the chip. Implement all these new innovative ways, all these new cool ways, okay? These new currency, the new way of clocking in at your job, a new technology that's going to allow you to make your life simpler after us digging ourselves out of the worst hole in history. That's pretty much what that was it to
Yeah, that was it to 2.
All right, go ahead and go to the other article.
All right, this is on CNN.com, and this is dated as of today. This is updated at 10:40 this morning. It says, acting U.S. Defense Secretary will review programs to cut for wall funding.
Right, because like we said, today we're at a point where the government was shut down. He opened the government back up, but declared a state of emergency in order to get funds for the wall. $8 billion, I believe. So a lot of this money, a lot of this funding is going to come from the military, which we mentioned earlier. That one key and vital mistake that Rome made was they expanded their military and they cut through. They were overspending on their military, which we proved obviously that they're overspending on the military. But this is just another aspect of it. Oh, and one more thing that I wanted to say also, I seen on the news earlier that Trump and what's the secretary's name? Did it mention it?
Yeah, Patrick Shanahan.
Shanahan. That Shanahan and Trump haven't even met about what they're gonna take away or what program they're gonna take away, but he said that he's not even 100% with it. So can two be together, or can two be agreed?
Can two walk together?
Can two walk together unless they be agreed?
Yeah.
So, and this is what, like the fourth Secretary of Defense in like the past 6 months or something like that. But that just shows the level that this country is at, man.
It's how if a house divided against itself shall not stand.
And that's what it is, man. That's why nobody, like the brother said earlier, nobody is rah-rah America. It's divided. That's how you get a civil war. That's how you get one people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands.
Love of many shall wax cold.
Okay, it says acting U.S. Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan said beginning Sunday he will start studying which projects military money may come from to shift funds toward a border wall following President Donald Trump's national emergency declaration. Trump on Friday declared a national emergency to secure federal funds to build a wall on the southern border, bypassing Congress after lawmakers refused to meet his multi-billion-dollar request for the border wall funds.
And a lot of people are mad because he's not going through the so-called traditional ways of getting it passed through the Senate and the House and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, he's the president. And I gotta research it a little bit more. But I know through the NDAA Act, there's something that he can do that would he can enact to be the dictator. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I need to go and research that a little bit more. I believe if martial law is declared.
Yeah, martial law declared.
If martial law is declared, then he can become an active dictator.
One of the executive orders, huh?
Yeah. But this is getting close to that level.
I'm about to say a national emergency is pre-martial law.
Exactly. It's a national emergency that we need to do this. If he declares martial law and tells them to go to the border, he's automatically dictator. Whatever he say goes anyways.
Wow.
It really don't matter what you like or how you think things should be ran. If he says this is how it's gonna go, this is how it's gonna go. What you gonna do? Impeach him? All you gotta do is bring in the military. Everything's already been set up.
Block all y'all up.
You can't stop this man. If he wants to go crazy and go AWOL, so to speak, he can do it. What you gonna do? How's your protest gonna stop that? Cause that's all you're gonna do. You ain't gonna get real like they do in France and start, really protesting and start throwing Molotov cocktails and shooting it out with the police. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna do the Martin Luther King way, and you're gonna march from Birmingham to Washington D.C.
The IUIC way.
Right. You're gonna sit outside of the White House with your little picket fence or your little picket signs and this, that, and the third, and come up with a hot chant, 1, 2, 3, 4, we want Trump no more. That's what you're gonna do, because that's what you think. That's what this generation has been taught. That's how you get results. But how you get real results is you gotta really go to war, and that's what America is not prepared for. But guess what? Trump is ready for the smoke. Trump want all the smoke. Cause he hold all the what? All the trump cards.
Cigars,
Bars.
zigzags.
That's right.
Black
He
and
hold
mild.
right. He hold all the trump cards, man. And he ready to go Boston on you.
Lost that round.
All right, it says the administration has said 2.5 billion of military narcotics funding and 3.6 billion in military construction money will be diverted to the wall.
How much was those figures?
2.5 billion plus 3.6 billion. So
That's
it's roughly about seven. It's roughly about
6 billion.
that's like roughly 7 billion. Roughly about 7 billion. You know.
And what is it for narcotics?
Yeah, 2.5 billion of military narcotics funding, and 3.6 billion in military construction money.
Right, military. So construction,
Like
America's
7.1.
infrastructure is what? Is tore down. These
Decay.
bridges are decaying.
Yeah.
These streets are eroded. I was talking to a guy the other day in an Uber. You know, we were talking about how the streets were eroded. I was like, man, historically, this street used to be undrivable. You couldn't drive on it. Over there by Cubby's,
Oh yeah.
that street used to be.
Oh, Riddick?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Boy.
You couldn't drive on that street. So I'm like, it's actually not that bad right now. But but then I said, but I don't know. All I know is Rome built a road that's still standing to this day, but they can't get it right to make a goddamn road to stand for 6 months in this place.
Yep. That's because they don't want to. They trying to go the cheap route, man. Just throw that bullshit because, like you got concrete, you got gravel, you got asphalt, you got all these different things, layers of foundation, but they got different elements in them. You feel me? So when it comes to certain elements that they use, the weather reacts a certain way with those elements, due to moisture or due to heat. You feel
And
me?
salt.
And yeah, the salt, definitely the salt, you know what I'm saying, which is an element in itself.
Okay.
Sodium chloride, I believe so.
Yeah, NaCl.
Yeah, and that's, so you have these chemical imbalances. That's why certain things are breaking down. Here it is, you got the science to know to how to keep things going, even going back to Rome. What did they fucking use? You feel me? Like, use exactly what they use. But no, you want to do things your way, the cheap way or whatever. And I don't give a fuck way.
Slap a Band-Aid on it.
I plan on living on Mars way. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Right.
So you don't really, you just put, like your brother said, you put a Band-Aid on it. No, dog, you got shot. You got to get that shit stitched up.
Right.
You got to get it cleaned out. You can't just put a Band-Aid on it and keep hooping. Like, they just shot you, bro.
It's gonna get worse and worse.
It's gonna fester.
Yeah, it's gonna get infested and it's gonna fester, man.
It says the administration has said 2.5 billion in military narcotics funding and 3.6 billion in military construction money will be diverted to the wall, but Shanahan will have final say on how much will be taken from which programs. A military official says Shanahan is likely to approve the 3.6 billion figure. Quote unquote, it says, "I think I have a lot of discretion," Shanahan told reporters on a flight from Munich to the U.S. Saturday. You can trust the numbers in terms of the potential. Then you got to marry it up with where the money will be spent.
Right, because it sounds easy. Oh, well, it's $611 billion spent on the military. Well, we can find $8 billion to take it, but it's so many different programs that you can't take it from. You got to be careful. So we might can sacrifice a little from this one or a little from that one. At the end of the day, you wouldn't have had those programs set up to be funded with that amount of money if those programs didn't need that amount of money to be properly funded. So it's got to be a downfall somewhere.
God.
A shortcoming.
Yeah, it says one area that will not be touched is military housing, Shanahan said.
So they don't want to take away from where the soldiers actually live and basically money that they're giving to the soldiers. But it don't really matter because once they through with them, they ain't going to have no funding no ways. They ain't gonna have no pot to piss in or a window to throw out of it. They just gonna be PTSD out their mind with a sign on the goddamn interstate exit. I'm a veteran. I will work for food or this, that, and the third. They don't even have work for food signs no more.
Hurt.
Anything helps. They have anything help signs.
It says under Trump's emergency declaration, Shanahan also has to determine whether border barriers are necessary to support the use of the armed forces.
Right. So now you want to build the wall, but now they're saying, okay, we got to arm the wall, we got to man the wall. It's just like on Game of Thrones. They built the big ice wall to keep the White Walkers out, but then what? They had to have the Night's Watch in order to man the wall. You got to have somebody there to make sure nobody tries to come over the wall or around the wall or under the wall or through the wall. So once you got that, they're like, well, shoot, are we going to have the military there? Because if so, that's going to cost what? More money, more resources. And I also want to make one more point, with the Game of Thrones reference, because it's actually really relevant. Trump wants to make this big wall to go from border to border, just like on Game of Thrones. They made a 600 or 400 foot ice wall to go from border to border to keep them out. And when they first manned the wall, they had like 3 or 4 castles along the wall, and they were all manned, and they were all good, so to speak. But over the years, over hundreds of years, the forces got depleted. So now you have one castle with not even soldiers. You got thieves and like lesser people manning the wall, and they can't hold it down. So in order to do something that monumental, to have a project from a whole border of Mexico, it has to properly be manned, and that's going to cost another fucking $8 billion in just food, shelter, paying these people. It's a never-ending story with that wall. So that's another reason why it's been so difficult for this wall to be funded. But it's so many beautiful things that we can go to, so many different ways that we can hit this, because it could be that wall needs to be built so that when Jacob's trouble comes, people can't flee. It could be holding you in. Because we all know, if you really wanted to keep the Mexicans out, building a wall is not going to fucking help. Why? Because what are Mexicans mostly known for? Building those tunnels. Underground. How is a wall going to help a tunnel that's fucking 40 feet under the ground? How did El Chapo escape? He didn't go over the wall. He didn't go through the wall. He went under a tunnel. And he got onto a bike and zipped 3 miles down the road and came out through a barn that they built. You're not dealing with base people. The tribe of Issachar, that's what they do. They work. And they work hard. Alright? They do all the roofing, they build the infrastructure of America. You don't think that they can get around this wall? But that's all I really wanted to speak on that. I mean, anybody else got anything, or?
That was it.
But at the end of the day, you can see the parallels between the Roman Empire and the new Roman Empire, which is America, why it fell and why America is going to fall and follow in the same footsteps. Not only because of what we seeing, but because this right here, the Bible, the scriptures, the word of the Lord says so. All right, with that being said, I want to give all praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Ruach HaKodesh, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the 4 corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. Shalom.
Shalom.